look at how we can read some basic information off of a graph. Here I have a graph that looks at the temperature recorded at a particular time of day. We're going to let the 0 represent 12 o'clock and the 6 represent 6 o'clock. And then this graph shows us how our temperature has changed throughout the day, so our y-axis will represent the temperature. If I wanted to look at something like T of 1, what our temperature is at 1 o'clock, we would go over to the x value of 1, and then we would go up until we reach the graph to see that the y value would be 25. If we wanted to look for T of 3, the temperature at 3 o'clock, we would go over to an x value of 3, and then up to see that that temperature is 30. For T of 5, the temperature at 5 o'clock, over to 5, and then up until we reach the graph to see that the temperature at 5 o'clock was 20 degrees. Something else we could look at this graph is T of x equal to 25. In other words, at what times was the temperature equal to 25 degrees? This time we're looking for x, and we know y. So we're going to go up to 25 on the y-axis and go over to see that this happens at 2 points, at 1 and at 4. So it'll be 25 degrees at 1 o'clock and at 4 o'clock. We could also look at something like when is T of x greater than or equal to 25? In this case, when is the temperature greater than or equal to 25? And we can see that it passes above this line to be greater than between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. In interval notation, we do a 1 and a 4 with square brackets since we have that or equal to symbol. Another thing I could look at from this graph is the net change. And if I want to look at the net change from 1 to 3, if I look at f of 1, I see my output as 25. And if I look at f of 3, I see my output as 30. So my net change will be 30 minus 25, which is equal to 5. In other words, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it has changed 5 degrees. Another thing I could look at with a graph is the domain and range. The domain is the defined x values. Which x values are we allowed to put into our function? And the range is the corresponding y values. As an example, let's consider this graph here. If I want to find my domain, I need the appropriate x values. And I can see my smallest x value here is -2, and my biggest is 2. So my domain goes from -2 to 2. For the range, I need to look at the y values. I have no y values that are smaller than 0. And my y values stop at 2, so my range is 0 to 2.
If you would like to see Professor Pierce make more videos like this one, you can support her on Patreon in the link below. Any and all support means a lot to her. It allows her not only to make more videos, but it also allows her to campaign for free and accessible online education to conferences and other universities. Thank you for watching, and remember, math is for everyone.